ScouterStan, did you know that the order of the arrow... Oh, wait a minute. Before we go any further, I have to change. I have to put something on, don't I? Because I'm representing. All right. Well, let's do it. It's amazing, huh? I'll tell you what. The Order of the Arrow is Scouting's official honor society. It's not a matter of agreeing with or interacting with. It is. Okay? I don't understand some adult leaders that have this opinion. Now, granted, that's fine. They can have their opinions, but it should not carry over to the youth. Their experiences may be totally different, okay? So that's something to understand. The Order of the Arrow Brotherhood is an association of scouts with cheerful service in mind. Even though some leaders may have the opinion that it's just a work organization. And yes, OA members, we do a lot of service for our community, for our camp. Those are things that we do. But we do it with a cheerful heart. And we learn and have fun along the way. So it is work, we do stuff, but it's service to others. And isn't that a part of our Scout Oath, to help others at all times? It is all interrelated. One of the big things that the OA does that a lot of adult leaders do not comprehend or know is that it retains older scouts. Many older scouts, after achieving first class and getting into the Order of the Arrow, they're retained in scouting longer. Because, granted, if they're going to troop meetings and they go to campouts and alike, they're going to quickly get very bored with teaching scout skills over and over. This is an outlet that allows the older scout to interact with other older scouts in an organization of cheerful service. And that's a wonderful thing. And you will be amazed how you will retain in a unit, you will retain your older scouts because they have an outlet. So they have a place they can go and have fun. That's a big thing with the Order of the Arrow. Crews and troops that have representation, a youth representative of the OA, always putting out there about the Order of the Arrow and talking about that. That should not be perceived from the adult leaders as competition. It's not. The duty of all Order of the Arrow brothers is to do service with their unit. That is the primary, is their unit, their chartered organization. That is primary. OA is secondary. So it's not a competition. So adult leaders, you need to understand that's not what that's about. Over 80% of the Eagle Scouts are able to become Eagle Scouts because they stay involved in scouting longer. That's what the Order of the Arrow does. It gives you that opportunity to do more on a unit level. The first step in every unit should be that they have an election every single year. Every year there are scouts that achieve the requirements to become eligible for the election. So as an adult leader, you need to make sure that you're in contact with the people to organize this election. Now, this may be a little odd because it is youth organizing with the senior patrol leader, and that all needs to be cleared through, of course, the Scoutmaster and all of the other leadership within your unit. If this does not occur, it's important that the Scoutmaster or the crew leader to definitely get out there and contact the chapter or the lodge advisors and make sure that they're on the list to be called. Contact information changes all the time. So it is important to make sure that they have your contact, your email, your phone, all of those things. They need to have all of that information so that they can arrange an election. Now, I did cover before a lot about the OA, about the whole process, and I'll put a link up here so in case you missed it, there it is. there is a 3-part process to inductions. The first thing is the election. The second thing is what they call out or tap out. That's when the scout that has been elected has been notified. And then, of course, the ordeal. So it is a 3-part process, but you have to start the process. So make sure your contact information is up to date. Whenever you are planning for the year, and I have another video on planning seminars, I'll put it up there again. Planning seminars are important that you look at the schedule for the Order of the Arrow so that your older scouts will have an opportunity to participate in the Order of the Arrow. If you're scheduling campouts every time that they're doing an activity, you're messing up with that process of retaining your older scouts. Troops have a position for an adult leader to actually be the advisor to the representative of the unit. So definitely look into that. They can work together to make sure that all the schedules and inductions and all of that stuff is kept up to date with the unit. Now this is important. Cub Scout leaders, you hung in there because you're going from Cub Scouts to a troop. So that is a very important step. You need to understand a little bit about the Order of the Arrow. The Order of the Arrow is for the older scouts so that they can participate in activities with older scouts and learn more leadership skills. Every single den chief that's in the Order of the Arrow should make a point to visit a pack and talk about the Order of the Arrow. This is something that Cub Scouts absolutely go nuts about, okay? They love this stuff, and we need to get them interested and keep that interest. Super important, so that when they go into a troop, they can also participate in the Brotherhood of the Order of the Arrow. Now, Cub Scout leaders, you are allowed to wear the flap if you are a member of the Order of the Arrow. Totally fine on a Cub Scout leader's uniform. Now, of course, Cub Scouts, they're not the right age, and they're not in a troop, and they haven't qualified as first class. They obviously do not. It is important that is distinguished and left open on your uniform as an adult leader. Now, adult leaders are elected by the troop or the pack committee. That's who actually elects the adult leaders, and they go through the exact same process that all the other scouts do. Now, here is one of the strangest things. I actually have had comments left here on this channel talking about how a scout was forced into joining the Order of the Arrow. That doesn't exist. I'm sorry. That is just not factual. Membership in the Order of the Arrow is optional. So many people want to get into the order that it is a difficult process, but it's doable. But you're never forced. You may be peer pressured. You may think you're being pressured. That's probably what it was. You're never forced. You do not have to participate. You can choose not to. But if you make that choice, you are a trusted leader, and you need not to prevent others from participating in something that they could derive great joy out of the Brotherhood of the Order of the Arrow. And of course, if you do not want to participate in the Order of the Arrow, that's okay. You can take your flap off. You do not have to wear your sash. Those are that's your property. Okay? So if you were to throw it away or something, that's yours. It's a free thing. You can do it and you can be and participate. But believe me, the Brotherhood will be glad to have you back if you ever change your mind. So with that being the case, I tell you, the Order is one of those wonderful, wonderful things. And I enjoyed participating in the Order and seeing the youth become adult leaders of the future. That's what I really enjoy. I know you do too. As a unit leader, you see it all the time. So keep up that good work. We are doing good work. So let's keep going, okay? And the Order of the Arrow is one of those many facets of scouting that you can participate in. So until then, I will see you on the trail.